Hello, everybody. Now, I've been kind of on a GTA grind here recently, most likely because I'm ready for GTA 6 to come out next year. But it's pretty crazy that a game that's over 10 years old still has new players every single day. I suppose it's because new people are becoming adults every single day, and maybe now their moms are just letting them buy it. But anyway, I want to do my part in helping out someone who's just starting out and is maybe overwhelmed with what they should or shouldn't buy. When I started GTA 5, it was the very first week of release and prior to any DLCs. There was no businesses, it was just online shenanigans, missions, and races to make money. Nowadays, there are dozens of options on businesses and heists to get your bankroll going. There are thousands of cars out there and other vehicles as well, and there's just a lot going on. Now, the list of things to buy and things not to buy I'm going to go through is important. But the most important thing I'm going to tell new players is to just save your money. You may want to spend money on cars, guns, apartments, clothes. I get it. It's GTA. You just want to blow stuff up. But just stop for now. We're going to have to ball on a budget for a bit. So the money you make, put it in the bank immediately. Don't buy anything. You're going to have your first car that you steal, and feel free to steal other cars on the streets. All those other vehicles, you can sell them, keep them, whatever you want to do, but focus on contact missions at the beginning to build up that bank money. Then work your way up, saving up to buy the armored Karuma, but there's more on that later. And be sure to take advantage of the double money and RP events that are happening each week. Some weeks are better than others, so keep an eye on what is double money because that can be very profitable, especially when it's contact missions or sell missions, and utilize the invite only sessions to make money the fastest and safest. Now, before we jump into this list, I want to share that I recently made a video on how I made millions in GTA Online, and I'm going to link that below, so be sure to check it out. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to see more videos just like this one, or some that are even not like this one at all. Now, let's get started. I'm going to break this down by category to make things a little bit easier. First, I'm going to talk about what not to buy. Now, you can buy these things if you have millions and millions of dollars already, but I'm going to suggest you hold off. All right, number one, the yacht. It's strictly for showing off your bankroll. You're never going to get the money back from the yacht that it takes you to buy it. There are some side yacht missions that can give you some money, but you're just not going to have enough time, or they just don't pay enough to make all that money back. You just can't drive the yacht like you can the sub and other vehicles in the game. So it's a $10 million paperweight. It is very luxurious and kind of badass to own, but really it's just a flex. Just buy it after you're rolling in the cash and you want to waste your money. Number two, the document forgery business. It's straight up a waste of money. There are much better options out there. You can only do the sell missions with it. You can't sell to the dealers, and it's the lowest profit of all the motorcycle club businesses. Do not buy. Number three is the facility. Now, it's the only place where you can do the Doomsday Heist, so I get the need to want to buy it, but have a friend buy it. Or if you have a friend that already owns it, utilize that friend to do the Doomsday Heist. The only other thing that you would need from the facility is the orbital cannon, and let's be real, that's not a need. It's a want, and it's only going to cost you money. So again, jumping back to my original piece of advice, save your money. Number four, this is going to be a little controversial. Some people say this is the first thing you should ever try to save up for, but the Kasaka sub. Now, hear me out. Don't panic. I'm just saying for brand new players, there are faster and cheaper ways to make some money at the beginning. It has some amazing benefits. It can be super fun in public lobbies, and it's the way to start up the Cayo Perico heist. I get that. However, the heist money has been nerfed, and it's not an easy heist for newer players. All I'm saying is don't make this an early investment. Once you have the experience and some money, go for it. There are easier, less investment options out there for newer players, but I hear people saying this all the time that this is an absolute must buy, but I want to make sure that I'm being very honest with newer players. Just chill for a bit, get it when you have the extra money. It does have a 2 hour cooldown on the heist now as well, so you can't just quickly grind out the heists. It's still a good money maker at around a 1 million in a little over an hour. Number five is the Rhino tank. Look, it's old, it's outdated. There are much better options just sitting there. waiting for you to buy them. Plus, if you're using it just to be obnoxious and grief in public lobbies, there are better options. Also, this is only going to cost you money. There's no money ways to make with this. So it does lose its fun factor really quick. Number six, cheap houses or apartments, but I'm going to talk more about that later. Number seven, house, apartment, and business interior options. This doesn't add money, it only costs you money and only makes things just look cooler. If you don't have the money, don't waste it on cosmetic upgrades. It's an easy way to throw away millions and millions of dollars. Number eight, luxury aircrafts. The Swift and the Luxor are $5 million and $10 million respectively. You're going to fly them once or twice, realize they suck, and then you're going to fly something better, faster, and weaponized for a lot less money. Similar to the yacht, having a gold plane or a gold helicopter, pretty badass, and is a good way to flex that all the hard work that you've been doing. It's just not a good flex for newer players. Number nine is the Arena Wars Workshop. If you have money, do it. They do have some unique vehicles that you can customize. It also has a 30-car garage space, which is nice, but there's no money-making options within the Arena Wars Workshop. You're just spending money for the fun of it. Number 10, this isn't something that you would be buying, but I'm going to make a suggestion early on to avoid griefing in any PvP. If you want to grind for money, then avoid PvP early on in your career as well. It's expensive. You're going to blow up your vehicles, other players' vehicles. You're going to cost money in insurance. You're going to go through a lot of ammo, and you're not going to be making any money in the meantime. But it is GTA, so once you've grinded for some money, go have fun. It's a great way to let off some steam from time to time, and really, it's Grand Theft Auto. That's what this is for. Number 11, tons of clothes. Honestly, I cycle through about 5 to 10 different outfits. And the clothes trends tends to be pretty expensive, so get a few clothing options, only get some basic clothes when you have that money to spend, and then you can start blowing it more and more as time goes on. The clothes don't give you any advantage unless it's the bulletproof helmets, of course. But again, I don't find myself changing my clothes every single day or every single time that I get on GTA. So have those few options that you like, keep those, build a brand with it. Number 12, the police vehicles. Now, it only took Rockstar about 10 years for us to be able to buy our own police vehicles and police cars, which seems a little crazy, but they are insanely expensive and you can't put the Amani tech on them. So, really, they're one explosive away from being evaporated. They are fun, however, to drive. There's a little bit of customization to them, but again, it's a pretty poor investment for dropping $4 million on something. Okay, so that is the list of items and things to avoid, but what about the things that you need to make GTA better, more fun, and makes you that money? First up, we're going to talk about our cars and other vehicles you need to own. Number one, the most important thing you'll hear this on any other video or recommendation about what are the vehicles that you need to buy. And obviously, it's the Armored Karuma. It is the absolute perfect vehicle for missions. It's got great speed, great handling, and it's a four-seater. This is an absolute must buy for missions and heists. Number two is the Oppressor Mark II. It is insanely fast for getting from point A to point B, so it's ideal for grinders and being able to make money early on as it dramatically speeds up the downtime in between things. It's also got missiles to deal with any pesky bad NPCs or other PvP. You can, if you want, consider the Deluxo as a fun option, and it gives you that Back to Future vibes, but it is a bit slower than the Oppressor Mark II. Number three is a Buzzard or get the Sparrow if you do have the Kasaka sub. These are great options, very similar to the Oppressor Mark II, very quick and easy to get around to, are weaponized, and want you to get you from point A to point B very fast. Number four will be a good super or racing car. There are tons of options out there. Everyone always has their opinions. There are new vehicles added in constantly. So the newest and fastest vehicles are always changing. The Karen S95, the Entity, Grotti Turismo Classic are great options in my opinion. I don't do a ton of racing. There are other videos out there breaking down the cars. Number 5, for any PvP shenanigans, look into any Amani Tech vehicles with the lock-on jammers. Probably the Buffalo STX would be the best option. You can also consider the Torador for anti-griefing. It can take a few missiles, infinite homing missiles with it, and it also has no special map icon, so you honestly just look like you're driving a normal vehicle. Also, this can go underwater, which is really cool. Another obvious answer would be the Insurgent Pickup or the Night Shark. They can take a wallop and are very obnoxious to fight against. All right, so we just broke down the vehicles. Now let's talk about weapons. Number 1, the Up and Atomizer. The main reason for the Up and Atomizer is for grinders who might accidentally get their vehicle stuck on rocks, trees, or other obstacles. We've all been there. It's a great way to prevent yourself from losing a lot of money. The Up and Atomizer can also be a lot of fun playing and trolling with your friends or even fighting PvP. Number 2, the Assault Shotgun. It's amazing up close and is probably the best close range game weapon in the game. Number 3, the Heavy Sniper. Really, the Heavy Sniper is PvP only. This is not needed for any solo or money grinding, but the best option for those PvP battles, in my opinion. Number 4, the AP pistol or the tactical SMG. This would be for driving. Either are really good guns. Most people would say the tactical SMG is by far the best. I do enjoy the AP pistol, plus the customizations on it I think are really cool. Number 5, sticky bombs. Not only are they super fun, they're very useful for anti-griefers and oppressors or other random vehicles trying to torment you, and they can be very handy in missions. Number 6, the homing launcher. The jets, helicopters, and oppressors all rule the sky, and this is just an easy way, sometimes without even having to fire the rocket, to get someone off of your back. This is also very useful in missions with enemy buzzards. And then finally, number 7, really any assault rifle can be your main weapon. I prefer the bullpup. The advanced rifle is also really good. There's plenty of other options out there. Just find that assault rifle that works best for you. All right, so next up, we're going to talk about buildings, houses, and garages. This is really just some piece of advice that I would like to give is number 1, you really only need garages to store your cars. So buying tons and tons of penthouses and other houses just really makes no sense. You want to focus on getting the 10-car garages, and we're going to talk more about that in a second. But get the 60-car garage with a CEO office, and that is going to help a ton. Don't buy houses with 2-car garages. You're gonna seem like you're saving a lot of money, but get the high-end apartment. Save up for the high-end apartment with the 10 garage first. That should be your first major purchase. Number 2, to do the original heist, you do need to get the high-end apartments, but again, it's not needed at the start if you have a friend with one. They are fun to do, but take a while to complete, and you can't do them solo and can be a struggle with randoms. So only do those if you are playing with friends. Another house option is the penthouse in the casino. Unless you go gambling, there isn't a ton of other reasons why I ever go in there. So I have that as my spawn point, so I can go spin the wheel in the casino every day when I first get on. Then I leave and go do my thing. You should be spinning the wheel every 24 hours as well, by the way. You can easily win RP, cash, chips, and even a free car, so do it. Number 3, you probably won't find yourself going into your garages very often since you can take advantage of your mechanic through your phone as well as requesting your personal vehicle. So don't worry so much about the locations and think more about the cost of them. All right, next up, we're going to discuss businesses. And before I jump into this, be sure to check out my How to Make Millions video linked below in the description when it comes to using those businesses. Number 1, the CEO office. First option within the CEO office is the vehicle warehouse. The vehicle warehouse is a decent, easy money-making option that can be done solo. But be warned that if you are selling solo in a private lobby, you're going to have an enemy NPC or multiple enemy NPCs that are apparently all ex-Navy SEAL marksmen that will shoot the crap out of you and your vehicle, and any damage done to the vehicle is going to eat into your profits. So invite a friend to your lobby and let them do their own thing in the lobby while you sell. Or you can sell in a public session and you won't have enemy NPCs, but you might have other players coming after you for profit, and it only takes one oppressor missile to lose that vehicle. Anyway, they are pretty quick vehicles to steal. Sometimes they can be a nuisance, however, but just drive them back as quickly as possible to the vehicle warehouse to take the least amount of damage possible. Then get them customized and sold for good profits. Just like the crate warehouses that we're going to talk about in a minute, you do have to get the CEO office first. So you do have some pretty hefty upfront costs. This may not be the best option for brand new players. There is a lot of work to put in this sometimes as a solo option, but if you put in the hours and time to fill up your vehicle warehouse with 10 standard and 10 mid-range vehicles and leave them there, you will then only be sourcing high-end vehicles that can give you $200,000 per hour selling the high-end cars. So can be worth your time. The second option from the CEO warehouse is the crate warehouses. This is slightly passive income as it does take some upfront work and money. If you don't have the income yet, again, this may not be the best starting spot as it does require the purchase of the CEO office first and then the purchase of the warehouses. The large warehouse, though, can sell fully at $2.2 million, but can take around 5 hours of game time to fill. Passively filling this with your staff and grabbing crates during downtime on your own is the way to go, so don't expect to sell this very often, but when you do, it's amazing profit. One of the other bonuses I recommend if you can't afford it, but get it when you can, is the large garage options with the CEO office. You can have three 20-car garages with it, which starting out in GTA was going to take you a while to fill. Next up is the agency. Amani Tech, in my opinion, is the best part about the agency, allowing for missile jammers on certain vehicles can be pretty clutch in public sessions. However, not worth your time or money if you are a more passive player and just want to grind and would rather ignore other players. This does open up the payphone hits that take around 10 minutes, and with the bonus gives you 45,000 and only has a 10-minute cooldown. Honestly, a nice little bonus to spice things up a bit. Missions are all pretty quick and easy and can add to the passive income safe in the agency as well. And finally, the mission finale that does earn you $1 million after completion and only takes around an hour. Number three is the hangar. It does have slightly passive income because you do need to go to Rooster out to collect supplies, or you can go get them yourselves to be much faster. I do recommend the ground options when you're selling and buying. They tend to be a little bit easier and faster, but for the full experience, go with the air option as that is what it's meant to do. The warehouse is pretty massive and does take a long time to fill, but worth a lot of money when you do sell. It can take a long time solo. It may take around 6 hours to fully fill if you are sourcing yourself, but technically would be making around $400,000 an hour. But if you just rely on Rooster to fill it, it's going to take a lot longer. But when you do fill it, you can sell it for nearly $2.5 million. So I'd recommend it for sure. Plus, it allows you to buy, store, and customize air vehicles. Selling through this is super easy solo as well. One vehicle that you can take to one or sometimes multiple sell locations, and it takes around 15 minutes max. Number four is the Motorcycle Club. The Motorcycle Club does have a motorcycle customer shop now where you can deliver bikes to customers after customizing and will earn $50,000 profit each time. You can make money from the bar as well as long as you're resupplying it, and you can earn around $5,000 passively every hour. I'm not a fan of the bar resupply missions, so full disclosure, I just ignore it. There is also Motorcycle Club missions that can be started in the clubhouse that can earn around $35,000 depending on the missions. The best part of the Motorcycle Club is the businesses, however, so let's discuss those. First up is the cocaine business. Fully upgraded will earn you over $72,000 per hour and is one of the most lucrative passive money-making methods in the game. Just like the other cell missions, they can be slightly time consuming if you aren't playing with a few friends. Depending on the luck of the draw, the cell mission can take you a full 30 minutes, 45 minutes if you're doing this solo, but with friends can often be completed around 10 to 15 minutes. Next up is the meth. This is the second best motorcycle business, does have some downsides during the cell missions as the coke. Has the most expensive upgrades, but honestly, who doesn't want to be Walter White, am I right? Next up is the weed. This is honestly the third best option for the motorcycle club businesses and has similar sell missions as the others, but does have one random option with a solo truck that's also very fun to get selling. If you know, you know. It's $30,000 per hour and great to have for your nightclub when you do get that. Finally, you can buy the counterfeit cash if you own the nightclub, but that's the only real reason to do this. And as previously mentioned, the document forgery, just don't buy it. Please don't. But the others, I would highly recommend with the most money. And then also utilize the street dealers as it's technically higher profit margins when you sell to them, but it will be smaller portions of your business. Okay, finally, the nightclub at number 5. This is amazing passive income as long as you have some other businesses purchased. You literally do not have to do anything other than sell, and it's a one vehicle option, which makes it perfect for those solo players and grinders out there. Assign the text to different products, and that's going to give you the income. Therefore, you're going to have to need to invest in all those other businesses options out there to really get full use out of the nightclub. And then keep the popularity bar up, and you can make an additional $50,000 an hour in the safe. Number 6 is the Acid Lab. Solo Cells is massive with the bike in the Acid Lab. It's a very easy setup and takes around an hour to complete. They can be sold very easily and can also be sold to street dealers. The Acid Lab remains one of the most profitable businesses in the game, and it's highly recommended for passive income. Number 7 is the Bail Bonds Office. This is a newer DLC, very passive income, and quick and easy to set up. They are different challenges from the typical DLCs, so that's something at least. Sending out your bail bondsman, you can make around $14,000 every 45 minutes passively, but you can also do the work yourself, which is mostly fun to do and can earn around $40,000 in 10 minutes. There is one high value target available each day that is worth around $120,000 and will take around 20 minutes, but they tend to be much more unique and interesting. Number 8 is the Auto Shop. Similar to the bail bonds, this is quick and different DLC missions with this one as well. Unlocks all level requirements for the car customization and gives you an owner discount. So if you do love cars, go with this one as early as possible. The main benefit is the customized car deliveries, which will give you about $30,000 profit in 5 minutes of work. But you can also send out your employees and staff to deliver the vehicles and make it much more passive income and speed it up. The auto shop robberies are on the board in the auto shop as well, which are smaller heists that can be completed in about 45 minutes and give you around $200,000. So it's a pretty solid option. Number 9, another great option is the bunker. Getting stock for the bunker does take a bit more time, but each cell is just over $1 million if it's fully stocked. This is much easier with multiple friends, however. It used to be impossible solo to sell previously as you just didn't have enough time to complete all of the tasks solo. But the timer to sell was extended to 45 minutes, which gives that extra needed time to sell everything. Another option with the bunker is the spare excess parts deliveries that are worth $50,000 and takes just a few minutes to sell and is available every 45 minutes in the bunker. And finally, number 10. Okay, so you have a bunch of warehouses and motorcycle businesses now. The next thing you should be looking at is the arcade. The arcade, you can take some money and buy some games to fill up the arcade to give you some passive income, but it's not a lot. It's passive, so it's something, but it's not a ton of money. It does also open up the casino heist, which is decent and kind of fun, but there are multiple ways to complete it, so it does add some replayability to the heists, but you're going to need a friend or two. The heists do give up to $1.5 million at the max. And finally, the best part of the arcade, in my opinion, is really the master computer you can purchase in the basement. You can resupply and manage everything from one spot without having to travel to each one. Okay, so what did I miss? Comment below, tell me what I may have forgot about. Also, if you haven't subscribed, hit that button. It's free, and I only put out a few videos a week, so you're not going to get spammed with 100 videos clogging up your YouTube feed. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Later.